As one decade faded away at midnight in Times Square, another began with a bang in Jacksonville, Florida, where Florida State's Bobby Bowden closes out a fabled coaching career that will span 7 decades in today's Conaca Minolta Gator Bowl. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Tim Brando, and welcome to Studio 43. It's the 65th annual Conaca Minolta Gator Bowl. The story in Jacksonville is the legendary Bobby Bowden's final game. I'm joined, as always, by Spencer Tillman and Tony Barnard. Happy New Year, gentlemen.
Happy New Year, sir.
And your thoughts on Bowden?
Well, this is a bittersweet day for me because, guys, yes, we're here to celebrate the incredible legacy, the incredible career of Bobby Bowden and everything he's done for college football. But, Spencer, I'm sad today because, you know what? It didn't have to be this way.
You're right, Tony. For me, 34 straight years at this fabled institution comes to a reluctant end. I choose to focus on the positives, though. The 14-year run he had with an AP Top 5 finish, we won't see that match in our lifetime, gentlemen.
So you left the negative for me again.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, here's the negative. Joe Paterno, 5 years ago, was in a similar position. He's coaching in another bowl game at the very same time as Bobby Bowden. His president showed dignity and loyalty, and because of that, he's where he is, and Bobby Bowden did not get the same from his president.
Right.
Around the rest of college football, the story was Urban Meyer's indefinite leave and the firing of Texas Tech's Mike Leach. Let's start with Leach, Tony.
Well, this is going to be debated for a long time. What Leach did, was it right, was it wrong? Here's the bottom line. When Mike Leach hired a lawyer and went to court to sue his employer to get reinstated, his fate was sealed. Spencer, now it's in the hand of the lawyers.
In a nutshell, a highly intelligent coach makes a dumb decision in the wrong era, and that was his undoing, gentlemen.
And what about the drama with Urban?
Well, I think the drama with Urban Meyer, is he going to retire? Is he not going to retire? Has really sucked all of the life out of the Sugar Bowl game. It's not about Tim Tebow or any of that. It's about the future of the Florida football program. And, Spencer, it is most uncertain.
And the level of uncertainty specifically to perhaps the most important constituency, those players who would sign on the dotted line, will they or won't they because of that uncertainty, Tony?
We may not know about the players, but he's losing coaches, losing them right now. We'll talk more about all of this at halftime, but it is New Year's Day. There are bowl games being played. We have action, but coming up, Vern, Gary, and Tracy with Bobby Bowden's final game in the 65th Conaca Minolta Gator Bowl. CBS Sports presentation of the Conaca Minolta Gator Bowl is sponsored by Conaca Minolta, imaging and document solutions that you can count on. DirecTV, follow your favorite team no matter where you live with NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV. And by LG, an official corporate partner of the NCAA.
It's called the Seminole Walk. It's never been done before the Gator Bowl, ever before. It's a quarter-mile stroll to allow Bobby Bowden to greet his fans as he enters the stadium for his final game as a head coach at Florida State.
I have learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel.
For more than half a century, Bobby Bowden made the college football world feel, as he would say, pretty dadgum good. The list of accomplishments, 388 victories, 2 national titles, 2 Heisman Trophy winners, and so much more, speaks volumes to his success as a coach, but falls far short in taking full measure of the man. Coach, teacher, philosopher. He realized that every player was somebody else's son and treated them accordingly. The wins pale in comparison to the lives he has touched and influenced. However, his most tangible legacy remains as the architect of the Florida State football dynasty. But as with all dynasties, the time comes when they are great no longer. And for the Seminole Warrior, the time to say goodbye has finally arrived. In the circle of life that is college football, Coach Bowden will bow out against West Virginia, the team he coached to prominence before embarking for Tallahassee. The Mountaineers are respectful of the Bowden legacy, but they're attempting to secure only the 8th 10-win season in team history. For Bobby Bowden, a coach first and foremost, sentiment can wait. Victory is paramount in his final performance as the head coach of the Florida State Seminoles. And as the sun sets on his remarkable career, he knows how lucky he has been to have been part of something that makes saying goodbye So very hard to do. Jacksonville, Florida on a thus far soggy first day of 2010. We do expect the skies to clear as the game goes on. It's going to be an emotional afternoon for both the Seminoles of Florida State and the Mountaineers of West Virginia, each team with ties to Bobby Bowden. This game sold out in 2 days once it was announced that Florida State was going to be here. We welcome you to the Conaca-Minolta Gator Bowl, West Virginia, against Florida State. And first on the field, the Mountaineers out of the Big East with a 9-3 record. Head coach, Bill Stewart, in his second full season. Right behind them, around their 80-year-old coach, Bobby Bowden, the Seminoles of Florida State. Fires the gun, one of the great traditions in West Virginia football. Chief Osceola representing the Seminoles. He's waiting for somebody. Awesome. Let's go down to Tracy Wolfson live with Coach Bowden.
I don't hear that. Coach, this is it, the final time you will take the field as a head coach. How emotional is this for you?
It was pretty emotional, especially when I came out on the field, walking before all the players that I had coached and the Florida State people. Pretty emotional.
What did you tell your team in your final pregame speech?
Well, here's the main thing, that I hope all this distraction on me has not got them thrown off. You know, they better be fully thinking completely about playing this West Virginia football team. I hope that I haven't gotten too much attention that would hurt our club. If that hurts them, that's okay, but not us.
And finally, to have the chance, though, to finish your career against your former team in West Virginia, how special is that?
That's good, too, because I spent 10 years in West Virginia. We had 4 children that graduated from West Virginia University, and I have a lot of love for that state.
Well, thanks a lot, and enjoy today.
Thank you, Ann.
If there was ever value in a replay, it's here. I mean, never a doubt that it was going to stick. It's going to be an emotional afternoon for us, too.
That was pretty emotional.
Yeah.
You know, I think back when my first Florida State game, Bobby didn't know my name, but I felt like he was my friend. He invited me up at practice up to his tower, and even I didn't have anything to say.
You've learned. You've learned. Let's talk a little football. West Virginia and Florida State. A young freshman quarterback who's had to replace Christian Ponder. Let's talk about E.J. Manuel.
E.J. Manuel would love for Florida State's other players to give him some help today and run the ball and make some first downs. However, in modern college football, we've seen in the past that the quarterback has to make plays. Now, E.J. Manuel is a tremendous young football player. He wasn't ready for Florida. We saw him a few weeks ago. He's gotten 14 more practices. He's a big-time player. I don't know if he's ready yet, but we will find out against this outstanding West Virginia defense.
Well, and a little different side of the coin for West Virginia. Jared Brown, fifth-year senior, but first year to start.
It's a great story for college football. A guy who waited patiently for his time and has made the most of his 1 year starting at West Virginia. Jared Brown, a fifth-year senior, stood and waited behind Pat White, and his year has shown that he is a big-time player. But, you know, he's going to have something that maybe E.J. Manuel doesn't have, is a home run hitter in the backfield. Noel Devine is as good as there is in college football at taking a 1 or 2 yard play and making it a 50, 60, or sometimes even 80-yard run. He's a home run hitter on the ground to match up with Jared Brown's home runs from the pocket.
This game and all college football games on CBS are brought to you in crystal clear CBS high definition. Soggy morning, as we said. A front has moved through. It's only 50 degrees and a breeze out of the northwest, but there is a chance for clearing skies about halftime. Florida State leads the series. This is only the third time they've met, each previous occasion here in the Gator Bowl. Both teams making their 7th appearance here. It's gone much better for Florida State than for West Virginia. Florida State won the toss. They've deferred the option to the second half. West Virginia will get the ball, and Dustin Hopkins, who has planted 23 of 67 kickoffs into the end zone, has this one come up short, and Noel Devine will open the game for West Virginia. Greg Reed, number 5, makes the tackle. Jared Brown this season, 64%, above 2,000 yards. Touchdown interception ratio just above 50%, and 5 rushing touchdowns. 1st and 10 at the 28. Brown started a couple of times for Patrick White last year. Won those both, and he's 11-3 as a starter. A little flip into the left flat. It's Devine. Ochuko Jenajay makes the tackle, but it's a 15-yard gain before the tackle by number 15.
Well, one of the big impacts that Bill Stewart has had on West Virginia, he's tried to take this offense from primarily an option edge running team to more of a zone read and passing edge team. And you can see the way they do it, get the ball to Devine on the edge with a simple pass to the outside.
High formation on 1st down and 10. Ryan Clark in at fullback. Play fake. Jared Brown being chased as he heads right. And he scoots out of bounds after a modest gain across the 45. Craig Yarbrough, number 91, with the pressure. And here are the lineups presented by Konica Minolta. Barclay, Jenkins, Job, Madsen, and Selvish Capers. The offensive line, they've started every game. Arnett, Jock Sanders, Devine, Tyler Urban, and Starks. And in his second season, Bill Stewart. 2nd down, 6. Shotgun this time. Devine goes right. And that might be enough to move the chain again. Florida State defense, this has not been their shining outfit this year. They have been gouged for yardage. Yarbrough, Thacker, Stewart, and Marcus White. The linebackers are Dakota Watson Smith, Nigel Bradham, and the secondary, Jenajay, Robinson, Mangum, and Patrick Robinson.
I mean, everybody who's watched West Virginia know that Ryan Clark is their 3rd down make-it guy who's in the offense now.
And he is the sole setback. He'll get the handoff left side. He's run for 3rd and 3 for first downs. This is the 11th time 3rd and 3 or fewer. And he's only been stopped once.
And he goes behind that offensive line that you talked about there. The starters for every game, they make the first down. And more than just being the starters for every game, these guys don't just start, they finish. You don't have to know a lot of guys' names for the offensive line, because look at that. Out of 3,945 snaps, they've only missed 39.
Spread again. Dive play right side. It's Divine. And they are making huge first down yardage.
You know what might be a little spooky for Florida State fans is if you'd ask me in college football, who does Noel Devine remind you a little bit of, it would be Demps and Rainey from Florida. That's not good news for Florida State.
No, that's not.
That was ugly.
You know, he does, but he's got a little more.
Yes, he does. Oh, yeah. Size-wise,
yeah.
yes, he does.
Yeah.
He's a little more advanced than Rainey and Demps.
2nd down and 3. Opening drive of the ball game. Divine, why not?
Look at him.
Well, let's bring you up to date on West Virginia's year. 2009 recap. They're 9-3. Bill Stewart, who was given the head coaching job after that wonderful win over Oklahoma a couple years ago, started 6-1, lost 24-21 to undefeated Cincinnati. Divine became their 13th 1,000-yard rusher in the last 14 seasons. And here's the big, big win, a 43-yard field goal to oust Pitt 1916. 1st and 10. Brown, deep. Oh, he's got a man open.
Yep.
Defender slipped, and he overthrows him. Brad Starks, I think he was going to be open anyway, but then the defender fell to the ground.
And, you know, people say, well, why don't you just hold it for another second and make sure? But, you know, if you're the quarterback, you have no idea when you're letting it go. Patrick Robinson, the boundary corner, falls on the play, and it's just one of those things you know, the stutter deep ball is the hardest ball for the quarterback to throw, because your eyes, you think the guy's going fast, but as he restarts, he doesn't have the top end speed.
Starks, a former high school quarterback. 2nd down. Quarterback keeper. Brown goes right. Watch out. It's a foot race. Touchdown, West Virginia. Here's a kid who grew up wanting to play for Florida State. His idol as a boy was Charlie Ward. He was 5 years old when Charlie Ward won the Heisman in '93. He didn't get a call from Florida State. Wound up sitting behind Patrick White at West Virginia and gets a start in this, his redshirt senior year.
Well, Florida State had a stunt on right here. Watch. N comes inside. I'm trying to get my thing to work here a little bit. N comes inside. Telestrator's not working. N comes inside, and Nigel Bradham goes outside, gets caught up at the same time. He doesn't scrape, and the quarterback goes right in for an easy walk-in. My telestrator might not be working, Vern. Offense is working for West Virginia.
That's not a surprise either.
Searching for something really fresh this new year? Well, you don't have to sail around the world to get it. Just think Australian. Cruise into
LG, as a proud NCAA corporate partner, invites you to celebrate game day moments here at the Gator Bowl. For Bobby Bowden and the rest of us, life's good here at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. Life's a little better right now if you're a Mountaineer, 7-0.
And how about if you're Jarrett Brown? I mean, his dream was a long time ago, was to be a Florida State Seminole. Now, he wasn't recruited, and people make mistakes all the time where you go with another guy. He goes to West Virginia and said he's been dreaming about this matchup maybe since he's been 10 years old, and first as a Florida State player and now to play against his dream team.
Had a big luncheon yesterday at which both coaches spoke and the teams were there, and Charlie Ward gave the invocation.
Yep.
I'm just hoping that Jarrett Brown and Charlie Ward had a chance to meet. We've got a little squib kick here taken at the 29-yard line. Out to the 41, it's Vincent Zan, number 46. And another look at Jarrett Brown.
Well, he just missed, remember, a touchdown the play before, and this time a quarterback isolation play. Great block by Ryan Clark. I was trying to circle that one, couldn't get her done. But Jarrett Brown, that was just too easy, and that's that. You know, Mickey Andrews told us yesterday, we have not gone through one game all year where we haven't given up the big play, and there's another big play right there.
From the 41 now, Florida State on offense for the first time. E.J. Manuel, Virginia Beach, Virginia. This is his fourth start, left side. That's Jermaine Thomas out of the backfield. Manuel, highly sought. Talked with Alabama and LSU before he signed with Florida State. Came on for the injured Christian Ponder. Ponder hurt in the 9th game of the year. You can see 64%. Little interception problem. 2 touchdowns, 6 INTs.
The play kind of looked like the same play that West Virginia started out the game with, wasn't it? A little flip to the side. See if the same result on the drive can happen.
From the 50. There's a toss.
Oh, nice alley.
Got a good block from Fortson on the left side. And J.T. Thomas, number 30. Got the first down for FSU. Datko, Hudson, McMahon, Spurlock, and Sanders, the offensive line from Tallahassee. Rod Owens, Thomas in the backfield with Pryor, Relaford the tight end, and Fortson the other wide receiver. The new head coach, Jimbo Fisher, he takes over officially on the 5th of January, signed a 5-year contract to replace Bobby Bowden. Bring it back.
Illegal, looked like movement by Florida State.
False start, offense, 67, 5 yards, the down remains first.
This is a Big Ten officiating crew today. And let's check in with the West Virginia defense. Taylor, Neild, and Miller. Miller, the sack specialist up front. They play a 3-3-5. Lazier, Reed Williams, J.T. Thomas, the linebackers, and the 5 defensive backs. Hogan, Glover, Sands at 6'5" at free safety. Allen and Tandy. Around the corner, down the sidelines. It's Thomas. Knocked out by Sidney Glover, number 11.
Well, 1st and 15, you hand the ball off, trying to get maybe 5 or 6 yards, and you get 18 yards. If Florida State could give Manuel some help running the ball, I really believe you're going to see what potential he has throwing the ball and doing just what Jarrett Brown did, running it occasionally. If they get into a long-distance 3rd down game, he's not ready. We saw that against Florida.
On the first down play.
See, here's what he did.
Yep.
Look at this.
Right side. Look at it.
Yep.
Oh. E.J. Manuel scoots around the right side for a gain of 15. Thomas had the block.
And I hope you can tell on television just how big of a specimen E.J. Manuel is. 6'4", 6'5", wide shoulders. I mean, his potential. And, of course, Christian, there's one of ours. I hope that's not one of ours.
Oh, dear.
Oh, man. I hope that isn't any one of anybody's.
No, exactly. I believe she's fine. That's a gain of 15 and a first down. Here's Thomas.
Yeah, look at that.
To the 10. Gary, you make such a salient point. they didn't run twice they've been held under 100 yards. We saw them against Florida. They didn't do much on the ground.
No, and their offensive line coach, Rick Trickett, is the old West Virginia coach, and he's in his 3rd season at Florida State, and they've taken pride in rebuilding this offensive line to be more balanced and run the ball. If they can do that, we're going to see a real shootout in this football game. It doesn't look like either defense has got enough to stop the offenses.
49 possessions in the red zone this year, 33 touches, 7 field goals, and on second down, they struggle to get a 1st and goal, and it appears they've got it.
Yeah.
Reed Williams, number 47, with the tackle.
I don't want to say I wasn't listening, but did you mention Scooter Berry, one of their fine defensive linemen for West Virginia?
You didn't have to listen because no, I didn't.
Well, he is. They're missing a suspension for this football game. One of the 3 down linemen for West Virginia not playing in the game, and that could be another factor in this football game early.
That's academics. Now Manuel out of the spread. Heads left. Blockers in front.
Run all the way. Oh,
yeah, and boy, did he pay a price at the 5-yard line. That's Robert Sands, number 2, the 6'5 safety.
Yes, one of 6 impact Florida football players on this football team. What I mean by that is Sands, number 2, is from the state of Florida. 22 players on this West Virginia football team are from the state of Florida, and 6 key members of the offensive defense hail from Florida.
And Bill Stewart told us that he had only 1 player on his entire 115-man squad. Here's a loose ball in the backfield that Thomas has knocked down. Just to complete the thought, yes, they are from Florida, but the only player in uniform for West Virginia today who was recruited by Florida State was Noel Devine.
Well, they got a good one in Noel Devine.
Yeah, they did. They did well.
Florida State was right on that guy, that's for sure. Option play, not run very well. West Virginia defense does not get enough credit for being as fast and quick as they are. They are very quick to the ball.
Very good 3rd down team, 46% over the course of the year. Of course, that's not broken down into 3rd and 5 to 10 or thus and such. Timeout, Florida State. Jimbo Fisher. He's a West Virginia native. There are a ton of ties between the states and the universities. Bobby Bowden completing his 34-year career at Florida State this afternoon. Throughout the day, we'll look back. Here are some of his landmark wins.
And Roger Craig, he's going to roll toward his right side. Borowski's going to trap him. He loses the football. It's going to go forward. Florida State's come over with it. They own the football in the ball game.
The 4 field goals tying an Orange Bowl record, but none bigger in the history of Florida State than that short shot by Bentley.
Winky looking, Winky wants to throw the knockout punch to Warwick. Warwick open! Cannot make the catch. Touchdown! He did the touchdown. He did catch it. Touchdown, Florida State.
That's just a handful. Here are some of the other landmark games for Bobby. We could go pages. He began his career as an assistant football coach and head track coach at his alma mater, Samford. It was Howard. And his pay in 1954, $3,600 a year.
Probably was good back then.
Wasn't bad.
I went and watched practice. West Virginia down here is playing a lot of combos with the linebackers here trying to get back to take away the back end line.
Thomas alongside Manuel, 3rd and goal from the 8. Across the middle, incomplete. Too high. Intended for Rod Owens. Another one of the Floridians. He's a senior from Jacksonville, as a matter of fact.
Well designed by Jeff Castile, the defensive coordinator for West Virginia. He took all of the short guys away and really played the back line. You see with the linebackers and safeties, he actually, I think, was in the play huddle and the play call for Jimbo Fisher. He anticipated that pass almost perfectly.
Dustin Hopkins on to try and put Florida State on the board. This will be from 26. Sean Powell is the holder. A little bit of a low snap, but the kick is fine. So an answering drive in part. But Bill Stewart's team still leads. 7:02 to go first quarter. 7-3 West Virginia. JB last
I was
week.
like, God, I wish I was doing that game. I could talk the whole game. I know basketball. I'm telling you, I know basketball.
I know you do. I know you do. Well, we'll just do 3 in the booth tomorrow.
All right, that's good.
You
no,
being
you got that one.
huh?
You got that one on your own.
Okay.
You got to leave like 4 in the morning.
Well, that's true. Louisville and Kentucky tomorrow.
I got to make a point. I'm kind of curious. Florida State won the toss and deferred. When you got the 110th ranked defense, don't you want the ball first? I didn't like this opening strategy for Florida State. Not that it's Bobby's last game, but I got to do it.
I understand. No, this is. And the kick taken by Mark Rogers. He's going to get spilled at the 28, perhaps the 29-yard line, by number 82, Willie Halstead. Native West Virginian Bill Stewart, the second-year head coach. He was the head coach once previous at VMI in the mid-90s, assistant coach for 7 years, and then got it after Rich Rodriguez went to Michigan, and he had essentially a one-game tryout.
And well, he didn't even know. He was told before the Oklahoma game that he was not in the picture, did not even get an interview, they told him. He beats Oklahoma and gets the job.
Yep. And now he's he's got a chance for a 10-win season. Here's the draw play, Devine. Got behind the line and dropped at the 27. Well, it's worth taking a look at that Fiesta Bowl. Rodriguez took a hike to Ann Arbor, and then interim coach Bill Stewart led the Mountaineers. Just a terrific win. They romped to a 48-28 victory, and Stewart later hired on a full-time basis.
And an interesting couple of names that were going through at that time for West Virginia, just to complete this crazy circle here. Terry Bowden and Jimbo Fisher. How about that?
That's right. Devine again.
Uh-oh
is right. How about being caught from behind? What about the effort? I know it was a great run, but Patrick Robinson, my gosh. That's a 70-yard run. That's terrific, but I'm really impressed with Robinson's speed and hustle.
Well, Florida State's got fast guys. I think Noel Devine here, well blocked again up front by, I'll tell you, West Virginia's offensive line. I think Noel Devine, out of the corner of his eye, thought he had just one more guy to beat, and it was Corey Magnum. He didn't realize he had another one coming from behind him. Put it in afterglide, and there's a lot of Florida State players that can run too.
Timeout. You know what it reminded me? I'm going back 25 years. Tony Dorsett for the Cowboys gets loose, and Darrell Green.
That's right.
Caught him
Darrell
from
Green
behind.
can run.
Time call.
Let's talk. Now it's time for the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Action Cam.
Well, we set up that this West Virginia offensive line has worked together with all these snaps. Watch the right side. Eric Jobe, Joe Madsen, and Selvish Capers handle this blocking scheme. Madsen pins him. Jobe comes around. Great block on the linebacker. And then when you got this type of speed, Dakota Watson turns the wrong way. I think it was Dakota Watson. Might have been Bradham again. It was Bradham. Turns the wrong direction. And you've got a running back that can turn a 10-yard gain into a 70-yard gain in just a step and a half.
Robinson saved the touchdown.
The big plays. I mean, it's just so hard to watch this if you've watched Florida State over the years.
First and goal after that 70-yard run. Ryan Clark, the only running back. Starks in motion. They hand it to Clark, and he's unable to be stopped until he gets to the one.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was out at practice and standing with Bill Stewart. He says, you know what I've asked for? I've asked the Pittsburgh Steelers for tapes of Jerome Bettis, because the guys in the team may call this guy the Beast, but he reminds me of the Bus. And he said, that's what I think we're going to have next year is the Bus, unless Noel Devine decides to come back and play one more year at West Virginia.
Devine is a junior and has not yet made his intentions clear. Second and goal. Devine is back on the field. And Clark is his lead blocker. They'll come left. Behind Clark, good block. Touchdown. Boy, Clark was there. Not that Devine needed a whole lot of help.
Well, they switched and flopped their offensive line to the strong side. Capers, the right tackle, was actually lined up at left tight end. So when you put your big first team all Big East offensive tackle at tight end, you could just pin him down, and that was an easy touchdown. Well-designed play for West Virginia.
Tyler Bittencourt, the hero of that win over Pittsburgh, he kicked the 43-yard game-winning field goal with no time left. And he knocks this one home.
I know it's always, effort, but a lot of it is strategy, too. You put your two offensive tackles to the same side. Florida State was outmanned. You walk into the end zone.
Includes 40 years as a Division I head coach. He talks about his career as part of our Home Depot Tools to Victory.
I take away a lot of great memories. Nothing's perfect. Nothing works out perfect. You're going to have good. You're going to have bad. I don't care what profession you're in. I wouldn't change anything except the strategy that got us beat. That I would change that. I kind of wish we'd have kicked the ball straight several times. We had more wide rights and wide lefts you ever saw in your life. The wins, they're there. But in 50 years, who cares? Nobody's going to say, oh, boy, 50 years ago, Coach Biden won 10 games. Nobody's going to say that, you know what? But maybe some life, some boy that you've helped, maybe becomes a doctor and does something good. I guess that's probably one of the greatest things you gain from coaching is your relationship with the young men that you coach, and it makes you a better man.
Well, it's a distinguished career, no doubt. It has not been free of controversy. As a matter of fact, currently, Florida State is appealing a verdict on behalf of the NCAA to have Florida State vacate 14 football victories as a part of an academic fraud scandal involving 61 athletes in 10 sports, by the way. So there have been some moments.
I think any program has had that, though. I mean, Penn State's had things with Joe Paterno over the years. It's part of modern day life. There's just so much information that comes out.
5:13 to go, first quarter.
Well, this is the strategy of kickoffs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Second and 1.
So that's Patrick Robinson, number 21, the man who showed us such great speed a moment ago when he tracked down Noel Devine.
It was interesting when we visited with the Florida State players. Their motivation for this football game was a lot around Bobby, but also a lot around the history of Florida State football. They really said they don't want to be the first team to have a losing record. And yes, that really motivated them. There's a lot of ex-Florida State football players here attending this game. We saw a shot of work done there. But, I mean, they do not want to be that team that goes 6-7.
On first down, Jermaine Thomas. Manuel comes right. That's caught by Taiwan Easterling. Well, more than 300 of Bobby Bowden's former Florida State players made the way back for this game. Probably 40 from West Virginia are here. Mentioned Warwick Dunn. Charlie Ward was here yesterday. Had to go back home to Houston, where he's coaching high school football now. Guy named Dion is on the sidelines.
Right there.
Yep.
Double hat on. He's got mixed emotions today. Got a very close relationship with Noel Devine.
Dunn and Sanders, that's a pretty good team.
Well, when you say Florida State football, don't you think of Deion Sanders?
Sure.
I don't think you can separate the two.
Terrell Buckley. Well, during Gary just alluded to this. This was really touching when Noel Devine went to his mentor, Deion Sanders, about 45 minutes before the teams concluded their warm-ups.
They kissed and they both cried, didn't they? Deion was on one knee, bowing to Noel. That was pretty good. Look at those guns. Proud of you, son, he goes.
Well, Noel Devine, his story very well documented. Lost both parents to AIDS, grew up in the care of a grandmother, and Sanders became his mentor. There's a drop. Lonnie Pryor, you can't have that. But you got it.
No, Lonnie Pryor is a very gifted football player, another young freshman football player. Florida State is, you know, whatever you want to say about the transition, I didn't like it. I don't understand what the rush was. They had made a deal to go one more year, and then they decided to change it. But solidifying it seems to be producing a very good recruiting class for Florida State.
2nd and 10, 14-3 with 4:04 to go, first quarter. Manuel. Well, for Florida State, opening season loss to Miami. They're 6-6 overall, 6th in the ACC, and there was some work done to get them into the Gator Bowl. Once they became bowl eligible, they started Mickey Andrews. We haven't even begun to talk about him. This is his final game as the defensive coordinator. Ponder out with a shoulder separation. They are in a bowl for the 28th straight year.
And I think their season peaked beating BYU on the road. That's when we all thought, whoa, maybe they will be real this year.
It's not good when your season peaks in early October.
No, they just couldn't put it. And then when Ponder got hurt, there's no way they were going to beat Florida without Ponder. Brandon Hogan right there, one of their two corners. You know, you call it a 3-3-5, Vernon. I'm not going to split hairs with you. You are right, but it's almost a 3-5-3. They play two corners out there and a safety. Sands really plays safety. Any one of the 5 inside guys can rush the passer. You have no idea of those 5 linebacker safety types inside.
Brandon Hogan back. And there's the touch of the ball at the 17-yard line. Let's go down to Tracy, who is with Deion Sanders.
Well, thanks a lot, Vern. And Deion, one of the many former Florida State players here today. What does it mean to be part of Bobby Bowden's final game?
Everything. I mean, who he represents. A godly man, a great coach, a great person. Not only Coach Bowden, but Coach Mickey Andrews, a legend. What will you remember most about playing for him? He made Florida State feel like a home away from home. And he was just so hospitable. He could turn a rainy day into sunshine. That's what I recall the most. Let's just take a minute and watch a play.
All right, we'll get right back to you, Trace. First down and 10. Play fake. Brown in trouble. And he flips it out. It's caught at the 22. Let's go back down to Tracy. That is incomplete, by the way.
Now, Deion, you have an interesting twist here, being very close with Noel Devine. We saw you.
I'm conflicted. I mean, first of all, I haven't seen him in a while, and just seeing him in pregame, we were both in tears. I love him, and I had to wave him off. This is Coach Bowden's last game, and he wanted to come and give me a hug after he scored. I was like, go to the other side.
What did you say to him during pregame?
I miss him. I love him. I'm so proud of him, his growth, his maturity, his maturation. I just love him. He's just a good kid.
Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Trace. Second down. Run to the right side. Mangum with the tackle. That'll bring up third.
Well, speaking of Mickey Andrews, Mickey's going to have to come up with some adjustments for this West Virginia offense. Mickey has been there forever with Bobby. We asked him, you know, I said, Mickey, is it overrated game time adjustments? He said, let me tell you, the best adjustment I made over the years at Florida State was telling my guys to adjust their chin straps and play tougher. The game's changed a little bit. You have to make plays, but I think he's right on. You have to play aggressively, number one.
What can they do now? 3rd and 10. West Virginia loads up left side. They've got him. Dakota Watson, who is perhaps the best of the defenders, number 36. That's his 5th and a half sack of the year.
Well, this is the effort he's talking about, but look at a little bit of a stack right here confuses the look. And Dakota Watson comes inside. See, it's not just effort in modern day football. It's adjustments, it's schemes, it's putting the whole package together. I think that was a great adjustment by Mickey Andrews. He went with a stack, he ran a stunt, and this time it worked.
Scott Kozlowski is on to punt, and he does so to the number 1 punt returner in Division I football, Greg Reed. Here's Kozlowski, low line drive, and Reed takes it on a hop. at the 30. And he is tackled and shoved forward inside the 25.
That was so aggressive by Reed on that play. He went for that football. West Virginia was trying not to punt the ball to him. He got it and made a play. Just by catching the ball on the hop, he saves maybe 15 yards. Watch, low kick, they're trying to pooch kick it, aggressively gets it, and then turns a roll that might have gone 15 more into a positive return.
Greg Reed averaging 18 yards per return this year, has 1 of 68 returned for a touchdown. And he gives FSU great position at the 24. Round the right side. Well, first time this afternoon we've had a chance to check in with Tim Brando.
All right, Vern, we thought we'd give you a New Year's break. You know what I'm saying? Here's Mike Kafka. The quarterback of Northwestern has thrown 5 interceptions, but don't be deterred. Drake Dunsmore galloping. Look at this shoddy tackling by Auburn. Despite the 5 picks, it's 21-all Northwestern Auburn. They last won a bowl game 60 years ago in the Rose Bowl, Vern. Back to you.
Wow.
I always say you got to be a good quarterback to throw 5 interceptions. No, they'll bench you. You get to 4, they bench you.
You have history of that?
Yes, well.
I didn't think we were going to go there.
I try not to.
Third down.
If Jimbo has a gimmick, first of all, I thought he'd use it on first down, try to steal some points here. I think he may think 4-down territory. If he can get half of this right here, he may think I need to go 4 downs right from here. He's got to see that West Virginia's scoring points and buckets. He needs a touchdown.
3rd and 5 at the 19. 3 down for West Virginia.
End of the quarter. That was quick.
Boy, it was. Well, we thought it might be.
It's moving along.
It's irrelevant. That's the end of the first quarter with a score of 14-3. We'll return to the Conica-Minolta Gator Bowl after this message. And a word for your local.
Florida watching the Florida State Seminoles. I am tobacco free. Now it's your turn. Tobacco Free Florida wants you to contact Florida Quit Line for counseling, quick tips, and more. Visit FloridaQuitLine.com to be free.
Monday on the Good Morning Show, we'll spotlight another deserving woman in our Monday Morning Makeover.
We welcome you back to the Conica-Minolta Gator Bowl, 65th version being played here in Jackson. 14-3, West Virginia with the lead. And now, as we open the second quarter, 3rd and 5 at the 19. Manuel. Oh my goodness. Right through the hands of Fortson. He's had some inconsistent moments this year, and there's one of them.
The ball was, I'm trying to say high to help Fortson, but you know, it was actually perfect. So if he couldn't get his hands in the way, it would have hit him in the head. That's just too hard. Now you're at 4th and 5. Didn't get half of it. That's going to be tough to go for. They are going to go. Bobby makes the call to go for the 3.
It's nice to see you being benevolent on the first day of the year.
I'm trying.
This is good. 37-yard field goal, and
now is it apropos in Bobby's last game to miss these or to make these?
Well, I hate to say this, but I'm going to wide left.
I know. Well, this, you know, after the great stop by the defense, the great punt return, a drop pass, they had 3rd and 5, then 4th and 5, and the kicker misses it.
And Dustin Hopkins has had a good year. Never mind from West Virginia, Bill Stewart's pleased.
The kick is airborne. It is wide to the right. Miami is going to win. Good snap. Here's a kick by Mowry. It's got the distance. It is wide. Right. Oh, block.
Mayfield, the man in the moment. The kick is away. The kick is no good. It's wide left.
You heard Bobby say a while ago, I wish we'd kicked a few straighter over the years. Bobby Bowden, and a missed opportunity there. And on first down after the miss, here's West Virginia with Noel Devine to the right. The handoff goes left. And a nice defensive play. Well, Gary, just impressions of the first quarter of play.
It looks like Florida State has gotten the tempo of the game here. Their defense is now getting a couple tackles for a loss. I think West Virginia will now turn to the passing game. That's what West Virginia has in Jared Brown. They've got receivers that they can make big plays. Florida State has to more move the chains. West Virginia has the big, and that seems so odd. You would think it'd be the opposite way just maybe 5 years ago, but things have changed in college football.
Second down, 15. Brown darts left.
Uh-oh.
Yes, indeed. Uh-oh. They got an angle on him, but he had a 32-yard touchdown run on the opening drive, and now he complements that with a gain of 26.
One of the first things that Bill Stewart also did was hire Jeff Mullen as his offensive coordinator to run his new offense. Now, he's having success. Jeff Mullen was the offensive coordinator or quarterback coach at Wake Forest, and Coach Riley Skinner. Remember, Riley Skinner was very successful against this Florida State defense in his career.
Here's Brown. Darts right, goes deep. Picked off. Intercepted by Jamie Robinson, number 20. His fourth pick of the season. Underthrown ball.
Yeah, had a man in the flat on that play and got a little too aggressive on it. Early in the downs. You can see it's going to be this guy right here. Get one guy going long, one guy here, but it was the guy right here he should have gone to in the flat. Typical flood route. One long, one medium, one short. He went for the medium porridge. He should have gone for the small porridge.
Oh, Goldilocks.
Yes. I had a coach that always used to.
I didn't know we were going to get the three bears into this. Manuel. Safety valve out on the right side, and they're going to pick up 12 yards on the safety valve. Jarman Fortson, number 80, makes the catch. And Brandon Hogan, number 22, with the tackle.
Well, E.J. Manuel, we watched him in that Florida game. He never had time to breathe in that game. I mean, Florida just kind of smothered him. This football game, the defense for Florida State is, they had one stop and now one turnover, and good field position so far for the Seminoles.
Manuel flips it out, wide open. Catch is made at the 36 by Jarman Fortson. That's a gain of 12.
So Fortson drops the easy one and catches the hard one. Little bootleg action. This is a staple for Jimbo Fisher's offense. Fortson reads the zone, just sets right there and goes down and gets his hands under the nose of the football.
Manuel now 4 of 8 for 41 yards and a first down at the 36. 14-3, West Virginia leads. Little reverse. Got a path. Gets a block. It's Burt Reed, number 83. I mentioned that Jimbo Fisher had signed a 5-year contract. Look at his. He played for Terry Bowden as a quarterback. Was the coach at Auburn and Cincinnati, and then learned under Nick Saban. He said he learned a lot about putting a staff together under Saban as the offensive coordinator at LSU, and now under Bobby Bowden, signed 3 years ago as the coach in waiting, and it has come to pass. Left side. Lazier with the tackle.
I think Jimbo would love to make first downs, drive the ball. It's not easy. For West Virginia, interesting, I looked at double-digit drives against West Virginia all year. Go 10 or more plays and score a touchdown against the Mountaineer defense has only happened 4 times all year, no more than 1 in any game. So it's hard to make 4 double-digit drives against this gambling defense, but Jimbo would love that to keep his defense off the field.
They did get the first down at the 25. Play fake, Manuel lobs it out, it's caught. This is Rod Owens, number 86. Came into the season, or the game rather, with 58 catches, trying to get to 60. Robert Sands makes the tackle.
This is called a sneak. A bootleg is when the player on the same side gets the ball. A sneak is when you go away from action and a receiver from the opposite side of the action sneaks out there and catches it. Saw it all year, Tennessee. We've seen it in the NFL. Everyone in the NFL is running those plays, and now it's really become a staple in the college football offenses.
FSU goes with the I formation now. Lonnie Pryor is the fullback. Manuel, he's got time. Man for man in the end zone. It's thrown through the end zone, intended for Bo Relaford, number 88.
Here you're talking about Jimbo and looking at Bobby Bowden right there. I asked Jimbo, you know, we know what you said you learned from Nick Saban. What have you most learned from being around Bobby Bowden? He says, you know, just the fact that the sky's not falling. You know, things are going bad, but the world's not going to come to an end. We're all going to get up tomorrow. We're going to come in. We're going to work. I think that's a great thing to learn. Might be something for the guy down in Gainesville to learn.
Boy, good point. Thomas, touchdown. 12 yards. Jermaine Thomas, his 8th rushing touchdown of the year. That looked easy after the interception.
Well, they fake the action one way and just flip it out the other way. End of the line. Julian Miller cannot catch up to the speed. And Florida State makes this a football game.
Dustin Hopkins for the extra point. Opening moment, second quarter. Cuts it right through the uprights.
Just the freeze, the half-second freeze allowed Jermaine Thomas to get to the corner. That's what Seminole fans are used to looking at, speed to the corner.
This presentation of the Konica Minolta Gator Bowl is sponsored by Jacksonville. For great vacation packages, go to visitjacksonville.com. Sonic, it's not just good, it's Sonic good. And by TIAA Craft, financial services for the greater good. We are back in Jacksonville. The weather guys got it right. They said it was going to clear out here about halftime, and skies are beginning to lighten. Aerial coverage of the SEC on CBS Sports, provided by DirecTV. Tonight on The Late Show, Dave's got Ray Romano, plus Tom Hanks in the top 10. Followed by The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, only on CBS. Dustin Hopkins will kick off. Tavon Austin, who's got a touchdown return on a kickoff this year, and Mark Rogers are ultimately going to be returning this, one or the other.
Number 1, Tavon Austin, and number 23, Mark Rogers.
Short, very short. At the 15-yard line, it's Austin. Mickey Andrews, in his final game as defensive coordinator here, had to be pleased with the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, they haven't had a lot of this at Florida State, a defensive highlight package. When you're 110 in the country, you got to change the feel of the football game. They did it with a sack, a tackle for a loss, and then an interception. That interception was on first down. That was a bad play by the quarterback, but Mickey Andrews has dialed up the intensity inside. I think it's not going to be as easy to run the ball with Noel Devine. They're going to have to get the ball downfield in the passing game.
Here's Devine. He's clogged in the middle, but he can get to the outside.
You know, Noel Devine, I said that for college, you know, he's like Rainey and Demps, that smallish back that is so valuable. But it's also breaking into the NFL, too. I mean, small, slight football players with speed are having a great impact in the NFL. But, you know, it's gone way back, too, because I don't want to date myself or anything, but, you know, reminds me of most is Joe Washington.
Ooh.
The old running back from Oklahoma, played for the Colts. He's smallish, he's explosive, and he changes directions unbelievably.
Hello. To the 41.
And he's over 100 yards running in this football game in the first half. Now, some guys, you want to stop their momentum when they run and make them cut back. You don't want to do that with Noel Devine. This time he's going to the left side and running behind Josh Jenkins. But he cuts back, and he doesn't even slow down. He doesn't have to sink his weight or stutter step. He just turns and goes the other way.
And he can get stopped.
He's not as big as Chris Johnson,
right?
But he's very similar the way he explodes off of one cut.
5'7", 178. And West Virginia has called timeout. 9:56 to go first half, 14-10. Mountaineers lead by 4. CBSSports.com has complete coverage of the bowl season. You'll get the latest news, analysis of every matchup, video previews, and live scoring game centers for each game. It's all online now at CBSSports.com.
You know, Vern, that graphic that I was looking at just previously right there kind of reminds me of a Barry Sanders type graphic, okay? But he's not like Barry. He's not a jitterbuggy, make 10 guys miss. He's more of a one-cut runner than a Barry Sanders jitterbug runner.
Well, he's having one heck of a day here. You mean like this?
Yes.
Okay. That's Devine again.
And you know what shocked me, was when his coach, Jeff Mullen, told us that he is a 400-pound bench presser. He's a special one, you know. Now, he's eligible to go in the NFL draft. He also could come back and make a run at whatever he wants to make a run at, because this West Virginia team is not losing a lot of football players next year. They're going to be something.
Catching and receiving now, 147 yards, 42 rather. Right side. And I had to smile when you mentioned Joe Washington. There's a flag down. I worked for 8 years with Steve Davis, who was the quarterback on that team. And this is early 70s, right? Yep. They were pretty good. They went 34-1-1.
Holding offense, number 66, 10 yards, repeat first down.
But they were on probation a lot, so nobody saw them. Yeah. Last game, Steve Davis quarterback was against Michigan in the Orange Bowl. Selvage capers with the hold. First down. Well, he threw it down. There it comes. No question there. That was Dakota Watson who drew a bead on Brown, and
it was going to be a screen pass to Noel Devine, and that's who Jarrett Brown was throwing the ball at, was Noel Devine. He got knocked down, didn't get out, and Noel Devine was standing right there. Not standing, laying right there.
Intentional grounding, offense number 16. Lost it down at the spot of the foul.
It was definitely, though, intentionally trying to save the ball. Even though it went near the player, clearly Jarrett Brown was grounding the ball, and I don't think he was outside of the pocket either.
Yep. Bill Stewart was arguing to the contrary. It's a loss of 14. So West Virginia going the wrong direction.
Yeah, so A sack and a tackle for a loss stopped the series. Then an interception stopped the series. Now penalties look like they could stop a series for West Virginia.
Empty backfield. Double tight end. Here's Brown with a stiff arm, but a nice penetration. And Bradham, number 13, made the stop. Well, it has been an interesting week in college football, to say the least. Kind of a bizarre 2 days involving the University of Florida. Urban Meyer electing to take a leave of absence after he had announced his intent to resign, and then Mike Leach and that kerfluffle out there.
How fast things change. A year ago, those two pictures would be, boy, these guys are on top of the world.
Yeah. Here's the blitz. Got him again. Ball comes out.
And Mickey Andrews, if he's known for one thing, it's that he is aggressive. This was a little bit of a gimmick defense. An adjustment by Mickey Andrews. Only one defensive lineman in the game, but they just overpowered the offensive line, and Dakota Watson right there. He is the rush specialist from the edge.
And Brown limping as he heads to the sidelines.
Backup quarterback is Geno Smith. Played one football game this year when Jarrett Brown was injured.
Jarrett Brown suffered a concussion against Marshall. This time that's not the problem. Here is Greg Reed to the 25. Well, what a defensive series for Mickey Andrews and the Seminoles. That was a 47-yard punt, 17 on the return, 14-10.
Hey, buddy. Where you off?
On the left ankle of Jarrett Brown. Take one more look at it.
Yeah,
here.
he got bent back on the sack by Dakota Watson right there, and catches his left ankle underneath. It's kind of like that hog tie. It's almost like a horse collar type tackle.
Back up, as Gary said, is Geno Smith. One full game, almost 15 of 21 against Marshall. He came on after Brown had suffered a concussion, and the lingering effects of that concussion still much discussed at West Virginia. Here's a little flip out to Lonnie Pryor. All right, you might, as we go to Bobby Brown, think that he is part of the Aflac trivia question. Get the duck out here.
Aflac!
Late arriving duck. Here's the trivia question. Which two Hall of Fame coaches with 200-plus wins finished their careers in the Gator Bowl? Two of them. Bobby's already in the Hall of Fame, of course. He and Joe Paterno were elected. That was really fascinating. They were put in 2006. There used to be a rule that you had to be retired to be elected to the College Football Hall of Fame. Then they amended the rule to make it any active coach over 75 years of age. And Bobby and Joe Pa went in at the same time.
Right, it's like the Janikowski rule when Janikowski got in trouble that one year. He said, well, foreign players have different rules. And kickers
there are no Polish rules here at Florida State.
You get a 75-year-old coach, they found a loophole. Nothing wrong with that.
Here's the option. Pitch left. Thomas.
Oh.
Nice. To the 41.
A wonderful job that time by E.J. Manuel first to take as long as he could before he pitched the ball, gets tackled on the play, and then Thomas does the rest. Overruns Sands, or makes Sands overrun him.
Yep.
Positive play, and I tell you again, this is exactly the way Florida State would like it. First down, but second and short. They didn't go for a bomb. Let's just make another first down, run some clock, gain some yards, keep the offense off the field for the other side.
Second down and 5. 6:06 to go. First half. Thomas again. He's having a very effective day. Now let's go down to Tracy Wolfson. Trace?
Well, guys, a few fun facts about Bobby Bowden. He suffered from rheumatic fever at age 13. I guess that's not really a fun fact. He played the trombone in high school, and he actually said he was pretty good. He transferred from Alabama because married players couldn't remain on the team. He earned a master's degree from Peabody College, coached track and field at Samford, and is a World War II history buff, guys.
Married to Miss Ann for more than 60 years. They were married after his freshman year at Alabama. And he went back. He's from Birmingham, of course. That's going to be a first down on third down. I didn't realize this. Bobby was entertaining us all at the luncheon yesterday. He first appeared in the Gator Bowl, Gary, as an assistant coach, receivers coach, to Bill Peterson in 1964. Auditioned or applied for the job when it became open in 1970. Was not hired. They didn't think he was ready at Florida State, and then he spent the next 6 years at West Virginia and finally came to Tallahassee. Took over a team that had been 4-29 in the previous 3 years.
Bobby's keen eye is looking out there and saying that we're surviving with our freshman quarterback, and he must like that.
Here's Manuel. He's got a look about him, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Good looking, not ready yet. This is really Christian Ponder's team. Did not participate in spring football because of a broken finger or smashed finger, something like that. Gets back in there, but you can see when he's going to get his chance, when he's ready, he's going to be a special quarterback.
Second down and 6. Christian Ponder is here in the cotton cap out of Colleyville. Graduated in 2.5 years. Not 3.5, 2.5 years. He's got his degree. And Christian Ponder was really having an all-ACC year at the time he was injured.
Absolutely. In 9 out of 12 games this year, this Florida State offense put more than 400 yards in total offense up. Christian Ponder, one of the bright spots on the football team. It wasn't the offense. I mean, this is a vintage Florida State offense this year. It's not a vintage Florida State defense, but today they're playing very well.
3rd and 2. They trail by 4. Manuel keeps. He's got a first down at the 40-yard line. Pat Lazier, number 31, makes the stop, and a little extracurricular stuff going on with Robert Sands and Bo Relaford.
The option has been a big part of this football game. You would think if you'd say that, past history would tell you would be West Virginia with Pat White. Remember running it? But no. Now it's a little bit different. And on these short yardage plays, Florida State, Jimbo Fisher likes to go to that option play, and so far Emmanuel's doing a good job of it.
Well, if you believe in a ground game, you'd like this drive. 7 rushes out of 8 plays. Now the pass. Manuel. That's a tough one. Oh! Nothing tough about it at all. Jarman Fortson. Defended by Glover, number 11. That's a 19-yard gain.
Sidney Glover does a wonderful job here. Sometimes you can play great defense and still get beat. Watch Glover. He's one of the 3 safeties. He sees the bootleg and he searches up the crossing route. You don't do it any better than that, but sometimes a well-thrown pass with a defender trying to turn around, the offense has a big advantage.
Gain of 19 and a first down. Here's the reverse again. Trouble here. And the tackle made at the 22, Burt Reed on the reverse.
Julian Miller did a great job, and there goes Jared Brown. You got to hurt for that guy. 5 years he waits to play in a bowl game, and he turns that ankle. There's Geno Smith, backup from Miramar, Florida. You saw it before. He has a wonderful arm. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's going to be a big-time thrower someday. But I don't know if he's ready yet.
Yeah.
You got 2 guys not quite ready playing in this football game if he has to play.
Second down, 11. Manuel, pressured. This is going to be a holding call.
Look at that. Look at that, though. What do you think for the future right there? He loved Charlie Ward growing up, and that's what Charlie Ward looked like right there. But a penalty early in the play is going to negate it.
Looked like Zebra Sanders, number 77.
Holding. Offense number 77. 10 yards, previous spot. Repeat, second down.
Sanders just real late in this play. I think he's over here. Real late in this play. Kind of just, well, actually, he got beat inside. Once you get beat inside, flag came late, the hold came early.
Right. And there goes Jared Brown. That's a tough one.
Yep. Now we're at that point, and that's why it's so hard to put it together, Vern, those double-digit drives for touchdowns. Florida State's at that point now. It is the 11th play of this drive. They get one mistake, and you get behind the chains. You might get a field goal out of it, but it's really hard to go long distance and score touchdowns.
Going right, Thomas, and nothing there.
Good job by Zach Cooper. Didn't make the play. Robert Sands did, but boy, he was smelling it and feeling it the whole way.
Number 2, Robert Sands. Loss of 5 yards.
Long yardage here, and Zach Cooper in that kind of, what do they call it, their defense when they bring in Goldburn and Cooper, the SWAT defense. Vern's memory's better than mine, I'll tell you that. They told us, I couldn't remember it.
No, you were struggling, and that's my job.
Okay. But Cooper just ate that one up, staying at home and makes the play. And it's like just same thing, a penalty just when you get behind down in distance. It's giving more and more in college football like the NFL. You make one mistake, and it's almost impossible.
Timeout. 3rd and 27, and timeout called by FSU. That is their complement of timeouts. They've used 3. West Virginia defense. This started out with a first down at the 21-yard line. They're going south, literally. And it's time now to cue the duck once again and get the answer to the Aflac trivia question. The 2 Hall of Fame coaches who concluded their careers here. I bet you many of you got this. Woody Hayes, 1978, memorably slugged Charlie Bauman, the linebacker of Clemson, and Vince Dooley, 1989. They won here against Michigan State. And
we all got Woody Hayes.
I know. Isn't that some things are seared into the mind.
Field goal would be big. Remember, Florida State gets the ball to start the second half.
Then they need about 8, 9. Manuel. They might get 8 or 9.
Choice.
Yes, indeed. Inside the 25, so they will have a shot at the field goal. 14-yard gain. Rod Owens with the catch.
Gain of 13 yards.
Normally, I think if Jarrett Brown was in the game, I think you'd see Phil Stewart take a timeout here to save time, but with a rookie quarterback coming in afterwards, I think he's just going to get to halftime. Let the clock run.
Season long for Dustin Hopkins is 52. Sun comes out to backlight him, and this is an attempt of 42. Dustin Hopkins. He's missed one. Wide left. High snap. Perfect.
West Virginia 14, Florida State 13.
Well, you miss one. You don't want to overreact on the second one and adjust too much, and he didn't. That one was well hit and never a doubt.
Ah, yeah. So we remind you that Tuesday on NCIF, and Jared Brown, the fifth-year senior starting quarterback, injured left ankle first half.
Well, if there's 150 guys on the field out here, this would be the last guy I'd want to see get hurt in this football game, to tell you the truth. Comes back, and on those sacks, you get twisted the wrong way, get your momentum going one way and weight of your body the other way, and that's what happens.
And here's his backup, Geno Smith. Gary mentioned one full game. That was against Marshall. Not full, but came on in place of the injury.
I think it was 4 or 5 plays into the game, though,
right,
when that injury occurred.
15 for 21. Here's another squib kick. Bounces way up in the air. Taken at the 31. And is returned near the 40. See where they spot it? Tim Shamblin. Geico halftime report. We'll go back to New York. Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman, Tony Barnhart. Get you up to date on all the things going on in college football as we are at the height of the bowl season now.
You know, one player I have not seen, we haven't called his name, and he's a big part of West Virginia, and I'm just wondering, Jock Sanders. I don't know if something's happened to him or what, but we did not see Jock Sanders touch the ball in the first half of this game.
We'll get the Wolf on that story.
Yes, she'll find out.
14-13, halftime. As West Virginia controlled the first quarter, Florida State controlled the second. And let's go down to Tracy, who is with Bill Stewart.
Thanks, Coach. We saw Jared Brown go down with that left ankle injury. Can you tell us the extent of it?
We're going to examine him right now. He'll be examined by our medical people and see if he's going to play the second half. We were going to go with the freshman in case we got the ball back with any time. But right now we'll just have to wait and see what happens at halftime.
Can Geno Smith carry you the rest of the way?
Oh, heck yeah. He's a good player. He'll pick up the saber and go.
Thanks a lot.
You betcha.
Halftime here in Jacksonville, 14-13 West Virginia. Let's go back to Tim Brando in New York.
All right, Vern, the other guy's a pretty good coach and a fun guy too, isn't he? Vern, coming up.
For me, Bobby Bowden, we stay in Tallahassee. Them Gator fans used to joke and clown when Florida State would come to town, but they stopped laughing thanks to Bobby B.
Absolutely perfect. The Ballad of Bobby Bowden, written and recorded by Murray Goff in 1979, told us yesterday, hey, it sold 20,000 copies, mostly in Tallahassee. Bobby Bowden's final game as the head coach at Florida State. Some of his colleagues took time to reminisce about Coach Bowden.
Bobby, we're going to miss you. You've been a great, great guy for college football and obviously Florida State, but on the big picture, you've just been what I think college football is all about.
We had a lot of great games together. Unfortunately for me and the Gators, Coach Bowden and his team won most of them. We're lucky to win a big one that counted a lot, but they won more than we did when you faced Florida State.
You know, I've got a lot of bad memories of Bobby because we played him, I don't know, about 6 times, and we managed to beat him a couple of times early, but we had a tough time in the bowl games with him, and his team's always played so well.
Aside from my father, he's without a doubt the most influential man in my life, and I love him, and I'm just so thankful that I had the opportunity to be around him as long as I did.
In the meantime, good luck today. Go out with a smile, as you will, I'm sure, but we're going to miss you, okay? Good luck, kid.
Good luck, kid. Bobby Bowden is 80. Joe Paterno is 82. The planning of the spear pregame ceremonies. We'll return for the third quarter from Jacksonville, 14-13, West Virginia.
Demo's kick is no good. Auburn wins.
The flag. They got a flag down there. They're going to get him.
Penalty flag thrown at the 26-yard line. If it is roughing, even though it's 4th and 14, so if it's roughing, it's a first down.
Roughing the kicker, number 46 of the defense.
Roughing the referee.
Penalty being forced half the distance to the goal, first down.
How about this? I've said Auburn's won the game twice.
Yes.
Yet Northwestern still has the ball with a chance to win. They'll get a fresh set of downs.
Oh.
Wow, is that... It easily just called that running into the kicker, which had been a 5-yard penalty.
No, that's roughing.
That's
roughing. A guy on one leg, and you hit him like that?
Well, you didn't see him.
I don't care if you didn't see him.
Usually you only have one corner rusher.
Demo's hurt. Now that's the other issue. He's your only kicker. He's your punter, your field goal kicker, your kickoff guy, and now he's shaking up.
Well, you don't need a punter and you don't need a kickoff guy, but you do need somebody to kick field goals and extra points in overtime.
They have a guy, Steve Flaherty, a freshman from